Most people are learning English the hard way. Not because English is difficult, but because their method is just inefficient. Too much studying, not enough speaking. Too many rules, not enough real communication. If I had to start again from zero, I would do things very differently.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Life English Talk podcast. I'm Julia, here with my co host, Alex.
Hey everyone!
Today's episode is super practical. We're breaking down exactly what we would do if we had to learn English again from the beginning.
Yeah, no theory, just real strategies that actually work.
And stay with us until the end, because we'll also review useful vocabulary to talk about learning and progress in English.
The first thing I would do differently, I would stop overstudying.
That sounds controversial.
Yeah, I know, right? Controversial is an idea that some people disagree with or find surprising. But it's true. Most learners spend hours studying grammar, but almost no time using the language.
Yeah, like doing exercises, filling gaps, but never actually speaking.
Exactly. So what would I do instead? I would apply immediately.
Apply, meaning to use what you learned in a real situation.
For example, if I learned 5 new words, I would create 5 sentences about my life.
Or even better, say them out loud.
Yes, exactly.
Quick reality check. When you learn something new, do you actually use it the same day?
Second thing, I would focus heavily on listening, but not just randomly listening. I would do it with a system.
Ooh, I like that. What kind of system?
Simple. I would take one short podcast or video and repeat it multiple times.
Repetition. Doing something again and again.
First time, just listen. Second time, focus on understanding. Third time, repeat sentences out loud.
Like shadowing.
Exactly. Shadowing, repeating what you hear in real time.
That's powerful for pronunciation.
Totally, and also for rhythm and confidence.
But passive listening is also an important tool to get familiar with the language, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's when repetition becomes powerful.
Be honest. Do you listen to English actively or just leave it in the background?
Another big change? I would stop translating everything.
Oof, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I know, but here's how I would do it step by step. First, I would learn phrases, not single words. For example, instead of learning decision, I learn make a decision.
Oh, that makes it more natural.
Exactly, and your brain starts thinking in chunks.
Chunks. Small groups of words that are used together.
Second, I would describe simple things in English during the day,
Like what?
like, I'm making coffee. I'm going outside. I feel tired.
Like building a habit of narrating your life in English.
Exactly. Slowly, your brain stops needing translation.
Think about this. What is one simple thing you can start describing in English today?
If I started again, I would speak from day one.
Day one? That's scary.
Yeah, but I wouldn't make it stressful.
How?
I would start alone, talking to myself.
Okay, that sounds a little crazy.
Maybe, but it works. Like narrating your life in English, you know? You can describe your day, your plans, your thoughts, no pressure, no judgment, and then slowly, I would move to real conversations.
Like language exchange or simple chats.
Exactly. Short, simple conversations.
Let's be real. Are you avoiding speaking because you're afraid of mistakes?
Another thing I would change, I would use real content from the beginning.
But not content that is too difficult, right?
Yes, that's important. If it's too hard, you get frustrated.
Frustrated. Feeling upset because something is too difficult.
So I would choose content just slightly above my level.
Ah, like a challenge, but not impossible.
Exactly, and I would reuse the same content multiple times.
Not always new videos?
No, I mentioned before, especially for passive listening, repetition is more powerful than constantly changing content.
Quick check. Do you jump from video to video, or do you repeat and master one?
I think this is the most important one. I would build a system.
System. A structured way of doing something regularly.
Because motivation is not reliable.
Yeah, some days you feel motivated, some days you don't.
Exactly. So instead, I would create a simple daily routine.
Like what?
For example, 10 minutes listening, 5 minutes speaking, 5 minutes reviewing vocabulary.
That's very doable.
Yes, small but consistent.
Consistency. Doing something regularly over time. Ask yourself, do you have a system, or are you just learning randomly?
Finally, I would focus on communication, not perfection.
Yeah, perfection is the biggest trap.
Trap. Something that stops your progress.
Because you wait and wait and wait.
Until you feel ready.
But that moment never comes.
Exactly. So I would accept mistakes from the beginning because at the end of the day, communication is the real goal.
Final thought. What would happen if you stopped trying to be perfect and just started speaking?
If I started learning English again, I would use more and study less.
Listen actively, every day.
Stop translating slowly
Speak early, even alone.
and build a simple, consistent system.
Because fluency is not about talent, it's about smart habits.
Before ending the episode, let's have a quick recap of the vocabulary we used and learned in today's episode.
Apply. To use something in real life.
Repetition. Doing something again and again.
Shadowing. Repeating what you hear in real time.
Chunks. Groups of words used together.
Frustrated. Feeling upset because something is difficult.
System. A structured method.
Consistency. Regular practice over time.
Trap. Something that blocks progress.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning English.
And tell us in the comments, what is one thing you will change starting today?
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.